Hi, I'm Dr. Macclevoid. It's not my it's not my you know. You'll have to forgive my appearance. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking he's probably recording this on one of the hottest days on record in the United Kingdom, and consequently, no, no, no. The temperature's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. No, well, I'm not fine. That's the sort of thing. That's a reflex action, isn't it? That's the sort of thing that people say when they're not fine. They say, I'm fine. I'm not fine. I'm in this condition because I've discovered after a long, long film watching career that there is a movie actually that's sort of the equivalent of kryptonite to me. It actually has an effect on my body and my cells. It's watching it was like being bombarded by radiation from an extremely toxic thing. And that movie is Supergirl. Excuse me. Oh my god. After this review, I'm going to have to go and see a doctor, I think, because I went in there a picture of health. I even had, probably a full head of hair, all right? Not that, but a picture of health. Look at me now. It was only a couple of hours long. Not even that, I don't think. Boy, oh boy, did it feel longer. You remember Supergirl, don't you? Supergirl was the cousin of Superman. And look, if you, like me, are one of most people who have never bothered to pick up a Supergirl comic because we got much better things to do with our time, like go and see Supergirl movies. Supergirl for you will be Helen Slater, the 1984 version, and you'll remember that movie was considered to be at the sort of tail end of a superhero cycle that Superman had started. I mean, that cycle was only at that time 6 years old, but Supergirl felt so tired and uninspired. It was sentimental, whimsical, silly. The villain was a witch, played by Faye Dunaway, camping it up, vamping it up. It featured monsters and magical roller coaster rides and ghost trains and things. And the MacGuffin was a thing that powered a city. Could have landed anywhere on Earth, but it landed in the picnic of a sorceress. Oh, there you are. I mean, we used to pity Supergirl, not because of the intent, but because the all the creative energy had gone into the wrong places. $1 million credit sequence. Somebody obviously misinterpreting an instruction to make the titles look like $1 million. They spent $1 million instead. But Supergirl brackets 1984 had a certain earnestness, didn't it? It was a sweet film with a sweet heroine. Okay, it was patronising to women, and oh look, here's a female version of Superman, so it's got to be silly and girly and about falling in love and things like that. It's got to be, even though that's what Superman was about. But we look back on it now and we cringe a little bit and we say, oh, did it have to be the sort of, girly version of Superman? Couldn't Supergirl have been a bit, had a bit more spunk? But, you know, somebody somewhere at DC Studios thought that, but overcorrected.
Saltar!
Squat.
There ain't nothing feminine about the new Supergirl. Nothing. Well, it's got women in it, you know, but so does my local Lidl. Like me, you probably look back on the old Supergirl and you think, all right, with hindsight, it's you know, silly, whimsical fun, but it's lacking something. It's lacking familial destruction and child sex trafficking and you know, a Supergirl who's hard drinking and takes a slash on screen and vomits a lot and has a sort of teenage sidekick who says things like, "You smell like vomit," whose job it is to ask questions that the audience wants to ask, like, why aren't you called Superwoman? Why isn't she called Superwoman? Now, if you thought that about the original Supergirl, you're mad! But somebody thought that. Someone in 2026 thought that what Supergirl really needed was sort of a, I don't know, Mad Max-like makeover. Mad Milly, if you like. And that Supergirl should be an anti-hero. She should be broken, ruined. You know, somebody full of pain and sadness and, you know, nihilistic. And every frame should bleed nihilism. It should be a movie that makes you feel dirty and horrible and ugly, and it should be the ugliest movie you've ever seen. It should be all sort of horrible browny kind of colours. It should be all ugh. The visual effects should be awful, and there shouldn't be any humour in it. It should be humourless, because humour might, I don't know, unsettle the mood. I don't want to have fun at a Supergirl film. I want to feel grubby, like I've been dragged through mud and beaten for an hour. Look what it's done to me. What am I going to tell my doctor? I sat in cinema for 2 hours. He's not going to understand that. I've done that before. I walked out okay then. But it isn't just that Supergirl is kind of horribly derivative, but sort of worthless. It's got no style, no wit. It just looks like a sort of AI generated composite of better films. And it's not that it's got a sort of silly plot. I mean, you know, it's sort of John No Wick. Supergirl's motivation is to avenge her dog's poisoning. Oh, and to get the antidote so that Crypto, the dog, the only dog on Krypton apparently, doesn't die. That's Supergirl's motivation. And she berates the sidekick for having a real motive to kill the sort of Mad Maxian bad guy, you know. I mean, that bloke killed the kid's family in front of her. But she says, she spends the whole movie preaching to this girl, saying, no, don't give in. Don't. Revenge is wrong. Revenge is wrong. You'll lose your soul over it. Do not hate. Do not hate, like I do. Do not kill, as I will. And by the way, wanting to avenge the murder of your family, that's stupid. Well, what a silly motive that is. Oh, why are you helping me? Someone poisoned my dog. And for that, many men must die. Yeah, this Supergirl kills. Helen Slater didn't kill anyone. She was too sweet. Couldn't imagine it, could you? You couldn't imagine Helen Slater hurting a fly. She was so nice. Do you remember when Supergirl was not? I mean, if you put these two movies, side by side, as no one will do. No one will talk about the comparison really, because it will all be about the world of tomorrow, woman of tomorrow, comic, whatever it is, Tom King and all the rest of it. The comic book geeks will bang on about the source material and how badly it's been adapted. Forget all of that. That's irrelevant. I mean, that might all be true. But what's, I think, interesting is that I can't remember another situation where two movie adaptations of the same property were so incredibly different. There is literally no connective tissue between Supergirl and Supergirl. None. You'd be pushed to beyond the name and the sort of, sketched in backstory. You'd be pushed to believe that these were the same people, the same character. The new Supergirl is, well, there's only really one word for it, and that's cynical. It's a cynically put together movie, and you didn't feel that. For all of the flaws of the 1984 film, you still felt that it was trying to project a certain kind of exuberance, a certain kind of fun. There's none of that here. The new Supergirl is a really, really cynical piece of work. It's hard to reverse engineer it. Why did anybody think that this movie, written this way, directed this way, performed this way, would be the right second entry in the new DC universe, cinematic universe? I mean, if you want to kill a franchise, this is the way to do it. We've had two films in this new series. We have a Superman who is too wet, arguably, a film that lacks the sort of grandeur and epic scope and mythic largeness of the original Superman. And now we have a Supergirl who is dejected, cynical, and apparently psychotic. Oh, but by the end, she's calmed down a bit. Do you have any desire to see another movie in this universe after this film? No, you do not. You can't imagine where it can go from here. I mean, it's just, it's. Ugh. In conclusion, Supergirl looks like the sort of worst kind of corporatized entertainment. It's not a product of any focus group because, of course, no focus group would have told the studio that they wanted to see a movie like this. So it's a sort of an approximation of what a group of people completely detached from reality and from their audience imagine they might want to see. How do we make Supergirl, a girl, relevant for the 21st century? How do we make Supergirl appeal to men and women? I don't know, by making her ruined, broken, but by making her absolutely no fun to be with whatsoever. By making everybody in the movie just kind of awful. By not giving us any memorable scenes, not one note of a memorable score, by chucking in some some old tunes like this was a sort of reheated Guardian of the Galaxy thing. That's how we're going to do it? That's how we're going to make this feel fresh? By making a kind of 5th generation copy of better movies? Poor Milly Allcock. I mean, my God, they even gave her a masculine surname. Her performances, I don't know. I mean, she performs the movie as written. But this is not a star-making turn. This is not the movie that's going to launch a career. People are not going to line up and say, hey, I saw Milly Allcock in Supergirl, and I can't wait to have her in whatever I'm doing. In fact, watching this thing, it occurred to me that the only director, who might have watched Supergirl and thought, was Michael Winner. Until next time, I'm Dr. Macclevoid, and I do not feel super.